All right, everyone. This is Brandon from Galaxy Dock Market. This is January 20th. Happy Inauguration Day. Um, President Trump is going to be sworn in at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, not Easter. Um, so it's Eastern Time. And the topic that I want to discuss to you is go over some news that has been just bombarding us over the last few weeks and digest everything that's being done and said, and to look at what they're doing, not what they're saying, but also to look at our technical picture, where we are. And I'm almost convinced, not almost, but I am convinced that U.S. debt default is being set up. And I said this in my previous video, and I will continue to show you why that is and how that all relates with the cryptocurrencies and all the craziness that's going on. Let's read our disclaimer. Pause it, read it. If you agree with my disclaimer, please move forward. And then, of course, my shameless plug on x.com/galaxy.market. I've been posting a ton of stuff, commentaries, and posting a lot of relevant things that I think is helpful to your trading. And also, thank you so much for all your subscriptions, and I want to keep this channel growing. So I would appreciate your subscription, likes, and comments, whether good or bad. Okay, we don't all have to agree on everything, but I do appreciate your comments. All right, so it took this man a lot, the deep state and the current administration, along with the mainstream media and everybody else, was against this man. And he, against all odds, has gotten his way back into the office. I don't think it's going to be easy sledding. I still believe that there's going to be a lot of shenanigans and a lot of false flags and a lot of obstruction along the way that's coming, including shocks to our systems to scare us into submission. And on top of all that, our country's balance sheet isn't in all that great of a shape, and we'll go over what I mean by that. But it involves that ageless wonder, Janet Yellen. She's been around the block. I'm 53 years old, and she's been around since I was basically in college as a freshman. And so you do the math. I'm not sure how old she is, but she is the ageless wonder. We will talk about that. And of course, there's just black swans everywhere, but everybody is distracted with, the AFC divisional, NFC divisional championships, and, the college football playoffs. Just a Trump meme coin, going spectacularly higher, and we'll commentate on what that actually means. We're just being distracted. All of a sudden, all the problem has gone away. They want you to think that the problems that exist within our world, within our financial system, and within just spiritually amongst all of us in the country and around the world has mysteriously gone away because the orange man is coming back into the office. And that is exactly where they want you to think, and that is not where you need to be. And that's why I'm making this video. All right, let's start with preponderances of evidence. And, the news flow that is coming out. You can't get these news flows from CNN, CNBC, or any of the mainstream outlets because they have stopped reporting truths. And it's just Baghdad Bob Incorporated at this point. It's fake news at this point. All right. So what is true is that the global debt, not just American debt, I don't even believe that our $38 trillion in debt is actually the real number, because I don't believe anybody really knows to the extent how much money was printed in secret that is not divulged on the public balance sheet to cause this current global chaos. Mark my words, the global tensions and the wars and all these strifes and fires and everything else that's going on, where up is down, down is up, and just all these crazy things that are going on, has its roots set on the US dollar. And we'll talk more about that. But let's talk about this global debt. So they're saying, supposedly, the world's debt hits a jaw-dropping 315.1 trillion in early 2024. I believe that number is probably north of something above quadrillion, right? And, the next number, I posted this in my last video, is quintillion, folks. And we'll talk about that in my post, okay? And it took me some researching because, quintillion or quadrillion was not even a vernacular in our language up until maybe a few years ago. Okay, but regardless, the global debt currently, as known to us, is $315 trillion, and it's all on the backs of printed money. And any country that stood against the Western fiat fractional reserve banking system related money printing, these are all monopoly money, has been either taken over, new regime installed, or all of these other things that happened where that specific country was just basically bombed to oblivion. And that's basically what's happened. But we have to pay attention to this because this is, at these levels, unsustainable, right? And it is unsustainable. However, I think that number, the real number, is way, way, way north in the quadrillions, possibly into the next number that I had to look up called quintillion. So let's move on forward. I'm setting the stage here, okay? And then, of course, it seems to me that, this is a interesting find that where there is a weather or fire disaster, albeit by Lahaina in Maui, North Carolina, or recently in Pacific Palisades and various other fire locations in California, is that it involves rare earth metals, mainly lithium, okay? And apparently the Pacific Palisades near Malibu Beach is chock full of lithium as well, okay? So now, having said that, in addition to that, there was a breaking news on Friday, okay, actually on Thursday, leading into Friday. There has been an evacuation orders that was set in on a lithium battery plant. It caught fire, which was releasing hazardous toxins into the air. These are not by accident, folks. Okay, I don't know who's doing these, but I know it's not the people that are, hardworking, people that are concerned about each other's welfare and trying to make this world a better place. These people, I believe, and I'm going to show you, that has connections to the U.S. money supply or U.S. dollar. Okay, so in Moss Landing, California, this is what's happened. Nothing is by accident. False flag events similar to Maui, and these events, because of the advent of X.com, which allows you to tell the truth, and there's not censorship or all this shenanigans associated with other things. Okay, you can clearly see these things, the truths that are coming out. In Moss Landing, California, somebody set fire to lithium, and if these people are super interested in climate, clean climate and everything else, this is all BS, folks. Then my favorite, these guys do a good job. The Coastal Journal has posted another gem, and these are things you can find. It's just that Coastal Journal does a good job of getting it before you. You can find them. So SMCI delayed their 10K. They said they got the auditor and everything's going to be fine. And it popped, right, a few months ago. And I said, you got to short that pop. So now they're coming out saying on January 16th that they are not able to file its 10Q. So basically, this company is going to get delisted. I don't know what's taking so long in getting them delisted. But it's also zero. There's some fraud in AI space, which also involves NVIDIA. There's a smoking gun. Okay, NVIDIA's four largest partners, supply partners, is SMCI, folks. All right. And SMCI is run by their family members. And if you go back, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, just watch all my videos. I talked about the causal correlation between NVIDIA's Jensen Huang, CEO, and AMD CEO, right? Lisa Su. They're cousins, folks. All right. Just think about that for a minute. Okay, and these will start to make sense. I don't have all the answers, but there is some correlation. SMCI continues to scream zero, and any pop above 32 for me is it's just a gift that keeps on giving. Okay, 32, back down to 30. It's a very good scalping play. Okay, not financial advice, but that's what's been happening, folks. All right. So, and then we talk about XRP, right? Right on schedule, European Union, is using the currency crisis to formulate a European army. But that European army also is that on the backs of formation by IMF, recognizing Ripple as the best fit payment system for cross-border transactions. And I've been saying this for a while in my private trading group members, okay? And, we've been, a big bull when nobody believed in XRP. All right, but it was clear as day. This is the mark of the beast coin, folks. Okay, but right now there is a opportunity for people to get generational wealth in XRP, and IMF, the World Bank, is recognizing Ripple as XRP. Unfortunately, if you're biblical and you kind of read into the Bible like me, I do, okay, read Revelations, folks, okay? Army will be financed through utilization of XRP in the near future, but right now, it's going to solve the world's global liquidity and printed money crisis, okay? And then, of course, on January 17th, this tweet of just constant changing of his inauguration address. Well, we don't really know. I know that as I make this, it's about 9:38 a.m. On January 20th, Eastern time. And so, that, they're talking about, they're already telling you to your face that Trump's safety is in grave danger. And so no one knows, is it going to be inside, outside, too cold? I mean, Trump is a man that would sit in freezing rain to do his rallies. So there is something credible that's probably going on. Okay. Of course, FBI, being the great deep state cronies that they are, they reported no credible threats against the president. Okay. So, So keep eye on this. Everybody needs to be praying for President Trump's safety and also peace. At this point, we're kind of in a powder keg situation. No one knows what's going to happen. We don't even know what actually is going on. For example, yesterday they had I don't know if this is normal. To my knowledge, it's not normal to have a pre-inauguration party. And it was almost like a convention, like an RNC convention. But regardless, I thought that was a little weird. We need to pay attention to that. There is confusion and chaos ahead of the inauguration. So my question is it going to happen in the way we think it's going to happen? Or is there even going to be an inauguration at all, okay, on January 20th, 2025, which is today? I made these slides yesterday, some of these, okay? Okay, now I'm kind of bringing you into that whole 335 trillion global debt. And, when these people speak, and, they all may be on the same aisle pretending to choose sides just to make sure that, it divides us. But Elon Musk, I don't trust him completely, but right now I have to. All right. Elon Musk says major and immediate action is needed to prevent America from going bankrupt. Here we go again. Remember, I said before that it seems like Trump is trying to set America up for debt default or bankruptcy with his actions and comments about the Greenland, annexing Canada, Trudeau resigning, and calling him Governor Trudeau. And, all of those things, and demanding Panama Canal to be returned back to United States. This is what people do right before they default on global debt, right? And as a result, immediate reaction will be just complete protectionism and fight for global resources. And this is what leads to World War IIIs, in my opinion. But, like I said, and devaluation of the currency. We've been talking about that. I've always said it's a race to zero. The first currency that goes to zero wins, because everybody is heading towards that global debt devaluation as well as global currency devaluation. But this is Musk that is out there and saying immediate action is needed to prevent America from going bankrupt. And what kind of action would that be? Because it's on the heels of this ageless wonder that I talked about. How old is Janet Yellen? Okay, I mean, literally, she must be by my conservative estimates, she must be 95 years old. She's been around since I was a young man, and she's been served terms as a Federal Reserve chairwoman, and now she's the Treasury Secretary. And no matter where she's gone, there's been nothing but continuous usurpation of power and money from the middle class and into the elite class. All right, ushering us into the mark of the beast system, I believe. Okay, so on her last day, she says, there was a breaking news last week on Friday, as the market was closing. She said, well, we're going to hit our debt limit on Tuesday. It's like her maxing out her credit card saying that, hey, there's no more money and I can't buy food. Okay. So Yellen advises U.S. Treasury to start extraordinary measures. And I'm going to talk about those extraordinary measures because I told you that your 401ks and your pension funds, probably not even your Roth IRAs, are going to be safe when the government runs out of money. They are going to do some heinous crap to you. No matter who's in charge, whether it's Biden or Trump, that's what they're going to do. So like clockwork, these events are coordinated and to be basically put shade on or to just disrupt President Trump's peaceful and smooth transition of power. Okay, but these have been in works even when Trump was president, way going back to Greenspan, all the way back into when Nixon took us off the gold standard. We are now at the terminal end. It's just that the deep state and the players, the bankers, have not found out a convenient excuse for why the world economy has failed. Usually bankers create wars and things to subjugate everybody into thinking that they were going to save the world. But this old woman, okay, probably older than Joe Biden, okay, has basically just watched and directed us into this moment of possible U.S. bankruptcy. And this is her letter, and I wanted to highlight something to you right here. And she's saying, blah, 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 this is what I did, and we're running out of money, and this is the thing. The Treasury Department will suspend additional investments and amounts of credit to this Civil Services Retirement and Disability Fund, and also the Postal Service Retiree Benefits Fund. This is the world's largest, next to the Teachers Union and Teamsters, but for government, these are the largest ones. Okay, and they're saying, and redeem a portion of the investment held by the CSRDF as expressly authorized by law. You know what that means? They're going to take money to fund some critical from the retirement account of those hardworking, not so hardworking, I don't know, it depends on the way you look at it, but that's why you join government and federal government jobs, right? You can't be fired and you have these pensions. Well, not so fast. I think they've been using that fund, and that fund may or may not be there, just the same way I think Social Security doesn't exist, okay? They're going to steal part of the pension plans to fund operations right here, folks. That's all you need to know, and you can pause it and read it, okay? That's the extraordinary measures, folks, all right? We are bankrupt, okay? In the meantime, the Trump coin is skyrocketing, and they're talking about crypto global reserve. These are all planned, folks. These are not made by some Japanese dude named Satoshi Nakamoto. I mean, it's like they could vaporize people from space. You don't think they could find a Satoshi Nakamoto? Some little tiny Japanese guy. I'm Asian, so I could say that, okay? Are you kidding me? You still buy that narrative? It's probably CIA. So anyways, so also on the heels of all this shenanigans, about 21 hours ago, Federal Reserve Bank, okay, there's nothing federal about the Federal Reserve Bank, folks, all right? It's a private bank, somehow convinced the corrupt lawmakers in 1913 when they came into existence. Okay, that was the beginning of all of our woes and initiation of income taxes and all this other stuff. But anyways, the Federal Reserve Bank, who has no credibility, has, and it's not that they're dumb, it's by design what they're doing. Is they're preparing to begin not reverse, but repo again. So the repo operations are designed to introduce liquidity into the system, interbank lending, and banks that have seized up because of lack of liquidity. The last time we saw this was 2008, all over again. So again, there's this rhetoric, and my suspicions about us, United States going into bankruptcy. Trump's actions sounds like, and Musk is saying it. Yellen saying we're out of money and we got to tap into federal pension funds to fund operations, probably sending it to Ukraine for the money that we don't have, or printing more and more money, causing even more instability. All it takes is like another feather to collapse this entire Ponzi scheme of printed money at this point. Okay, so you can pause it and read it. So repo is going to happen, which means that there are banks out there that's in trouble. And I've been pounding the table about the 10-year Treasury yield. We'll go over the TNX a little bit later in this video. But that TNX, the 10-year yield, where it's at, I know they did some rescue operation, but it had some unintended consequences, did it not? Right? It had the gold and silver spiking while the dollar was dropping, and you can't have that. That was a clear manipulation of the 10-year yield. It's also the clear indication that the Federal Reserve is panicking because, anything about 38.5 on TNX, the banks are insolvent. We're at 46, even with the intervention. We were briefly at 48. I had thought that we could start hitting 50, but you know what? They still have some bag of tricks in that Felix the Cat's bag of tricks. They pulled it out, but it's all toxic, folks. All right. So Fed is preparing to begin repo. All right. They're preparing for the financial chaos that is about to come. Okay. It doesn't matter what the SPY and those things are telling you. And I'm going to go over some charts to tell you this is exactly what happened in 2008. This is exactly what happened right before, 1929 stock market crash. Okay, and here it is. So Finance a Lot, posted this, and I think this was a great chart. And I'm going to have a bigger one on the next one, but I want to talk to you about this. Is that in 1929, stock market was going straight up. Okay, and we are in that situation. We're going straight up and hitting that upper trend line. I've been telling you on the SPY, right? You got to pay attention to that. And the yield curve was inverted for 700 days in 1929 before everything came apart. Okay, down 90%. And I think that same thing is setting up. This is not one of those pandemic type of things or, Asian contagion or even the .com, which was severe. But this is going to be mother of all crashes that are coming. We've been inverted for 789 days from July 5th, 2022 for 2 years, September 6th, 2024. Okay. All right. And everybody thinks and celebrating about Trump coin, fart coin, dog coins, or whatever coins. And we have absolutely lost it because this is what happens when there's too much money chasing too little investments. And really, SPY, QQQ, there's literally 5 to 7 stocks holding up this market. Okay, it's an illusion, and it's designed to draw in the retail investors to become bag holders. And don't become a bag holder. I know you guys say I've been saying this a long time and everything. It's coming, folks. January 17th was my cycle turn date, beginning of it, to February 7th. I think something is going to happen in between there, if not sooner. Okay, so that's basically what I have, but I wanted to show you the next one is for Donald Trump. This man does not say anything without meaning. And when confronted about the U.S. bankruptcy or running out of money, he's in the debt, unsustainable debt. Maybe we'll pay off the $35 trillion debt in crypto. Okay, I'll write a little piece of paper, 35 trillion crypto. We have no debt. Guys, this is not a joke, okay? And at the center of that is going to be XRP, okay? XRP is going to be used as cross-border bridge currency. When the liquidity crisis hits, when your ATM no longer works and the banks take a holiday, okay? I don't know when that's going to happen, but it's coming, okay? All banks are insolvent. And Trump is not joking about this, okay? And this is why he's talking about Bitcoin and XRP reserves, okay? XRP is bigger than Bitcoin, folks. And XRP, for those of you that thinks that XRP is dependent on market cap, it does not. Their market cap is infinity, Okay, it's about how much per coin can they move to basically meet, I believe, numbers north of quintillion. Okay. All right, so this guy, Crypto Bitford, I thought this was interesting. They talk about recommendation to pay off the U.S. debt by implementing XRP. I want you to go here and read it if you basically are interested, and you'll come out fully convinced. Okay, and so what they're talking about is the U.S. government and the rest of the world is buying XRP. Okay, they want to buy it cheap. They want to scare you out of it. Yesterday, it pulled back to 320, no 220, 292, 293, and everybody freaked out. That's a buying opportunity. Okay, they're trying to shake the retail hands out of it because XRP was not designed for retail. And for those of you that have the stomach to hold through these ups and downs in a few years, probably at least by the end of 2027, you'll see what I mean. But mark this, beware. Okay. All right. So, and then this is a cryptic tweet by Donald Trump. Coming up, the most important weekend, he said, and this is this plus. Okay, I know this is about Q plus in American history. Enjoy. Okay, so what's taking place today? We will find out. Maybe nothing. Okay, but again, Trump doesn't say things very, very passively. There's always meaning to the little quips that he does, little jokes that he does. You got to pay attention to it. Okay. And then, the woke bureaucrats and the government agencies, they're still trying to pass this quademic or pandemic narrative with this bird flu thing. Okay. So all poultry events statewide are shut down. So what that means is no more chicken for you guys and turkeys. It seems like they are disrupting the food supply ahead of Trump's election. Because if you keep them distracted, just like they did last time, they can still continue to push their agenda, which is one world currency, one world government, open borders, and loss of individual rights. And so this is what's been happening. And if you might say I'm crazy, but just look at all the preponderances of facts that's happened. Okay, so it's another lockdown coming. Okay, all right. So, and then I wanted to go with this is a very, very good schematic. This is what's going on right now and all this messy crap. So when a financial crisis should hit, the entire global system seizes up. Okay, it's just everyone's just freaking out, right? What XRP will do is it acts as a bridge currency. It doesn't matter if it's US dollar, pound, just euros. It doesn't matter. They can send liquidity to where it needs to be to provide that stability to work out the financial crisis. And I believe that's what XRP has been suppressed for. That's why SEC went after it, because it basically does. XRP does two things. Number one, it basically undermines the SWIFT system, although they could work together. It basically will replace the SWIFT system, I believe. XRP is the global reserve bridge currency. That's what it is. Okay. And so pause it and look at this, and it should. Even a 5-year-old starts to realize, wow, that's more smooth. Okay. It makes things less tangled, right? Okay. And then, of course, while we're gawking at the Trump coin, fart coins, and all this other stuff that's happening, it's still cheap right now. XRP is going to cheap all the way to $500, I think. Okay. It's not going to go to $500 in a day, but it's going to. Okay. Some whale about 30 million coins of XRP, which is $90 million in the last 30 minutes. Think about that for a minute. These are not small investors, and these are probably sovereign funds. Okay. While the retail is foaming at the mouth on Trump coin, right? People are buying up XRP. Okay. So here's the Trump coin. I took this yesterday. It's down a bit from last time. We'll go over that. It was a 64, hit all the way up to 80. Okay. But XRP is the real global reserve bridge currency, but they want you distracted into the Trump coin so they could pick it up without the money it going higher. So I want to take this moment to go over this real quick. Let's go over this. Okay. So this is where the Trump coin is right now, right? This Trump coin Was at 60. We pulled back from 64 all the way down. It's going to go higher because it's created the retail FOMO. But the main thing that you need to pay attention to is XRP. Everybody freaked out and said, oh my God, XRP is crashing. And I told everybody to go buy them. Okay, don't worry about it. XRP is moving higher, folks. It is the mark of the beast coin. It is going to provide liquidity in the coming crisis that's happening. The other thing that people don't understand is XDC. Okay, this is XFIN network. And basically, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but we bottomed here and we're ready to skyrocket higher. XFIN is going to tokenize your assets, and along with XRP providing, cross-border global reserve currency status and cross-border payments that's done in milliseconds, and also providing liquidity in the times of crisis. However, XDC is going to be one of the main players that nobody knows about. So you heard it here first, okay? And now that it's above that 9 cent mark, we're really setting up to break out. So this is going to take some time. This is a longer term hold, but XDC is definitely going to tokenize your healthcare records along with XRP. It's going to compete in some ways regarding with XRP, but it will also provide symmetry to them. Okay, so that's what I got. So let's get back to other stuff. And this is crazy because, I had some clients, they're basically bitching and moaning about getting XRP at 234. This is the same people that didn't buy it at 52 cents when I told them about it at 23 cents and 18 cents. And now they're at 234. They're waiting for a pullback. They're saying it's not going to go. And you know what's going to happen is, and this is actually, it's a cartoon, but it's the truth, right? XRP, I think XRP is going to be above 1,000 in about 3 years, okay? And maybe sooner. But, and then you have all these people lined up to get it, but they didn't want anything to do with it. I mean, it's open, and it's cheap right now, okay? While retail's foaming at the mouth on Trump and fart coins and meme coins, okay, the generational wealth is screaming at you to buy it, even at 234, but they don't want to because a month ago, it was at 52 cents. Now it's at 234. It's too expensive, but it's not going to be expensive at 1,000. That's the herd mentality. That's exactly what the big banks and the powers that be want to prey on, because our human brain is now wired to be able to appreciate things like this. And then I'm going to leave you at this. And this really infuriates me. Okay, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not going to say anything more other than the fact that so far Joe Biden has put out pardons under the excuse that, Trump's going to take retaliation. That man has been put through the ringers with all the bullshit scandals and things that never really took place. They even attempted, his life. Yet he's here, okay? And they're going to pardon this guy, and I agree with the sentiment. The thing is by pardoning him, even the people that basically thought everything was conspiracy theory, right, about everything, including the pandemic and everything else. I don't really care if I get demonetized. This is mainly for my group members and people that follow me. The issue is that when you do stuff like this, it makes you think that, wow, they must have done something really bad. They must be really afraid of retribution. There has to be a crime for them to be afraid and to be giving each other pardons. I just want to leave at this. They put in Kamala Harris because they confirmed that Joe Biden had cognitive decline, and he, while he was going to finish the presidency, was no longer capable of doing his duties. Okay? So is this even valid? Why do they need a get out of jail free card? It is an admission of guilt and complicity, folks. All right? So let's start with this. I'm going to go into my technical analysis part really quick. Okay? We're still dancing around at this uptrend line. Okay, we talked to you about that chart that we showed you, the yield curve inversion being at 789 days. All right, and I think the turn date from January 17th to February 7th. And once it begins, it's going to come all the way down until we at least touch here. I think we're going to go all the way back down into this level eventually. Okay, if we don't figure something out. Okay, next level of support, if we break this level right here by this little arrow, is going to come right into here. Okay, I know it sounds crazy, but there's just a lot of shenanigans sloshing around in our monetary system. Our monies are worthless. This is why people are buying gold and silver, and I've been pounding the table on gold and silver, right? 10-year treasury yield, okay? Despite the rate cuts and the rescue last week, okay, 10-year treasury yield is still at 46.09, finding support at this main support line. I think we're moving higher, folks. I think the banks are toast at this point, okay? All right. Bond market is calling BS on Trump euphoria, all right? Trump is preparing us, I think, for bankruptcy as a nation, okay? XRP is now sitting at 319. This was last week. I said, hey, it's going to break out of this kind of the bullish flag formation, and breakout we did. We are now at 319 before we were at 213. And at that point, people were saying this is too expensive. Okay. So this is that same chart that I talked about. It's a bull flag right at 256 and broke out. Okay. So Bitcoin is beta test coin. XRP is the real world reserve currency. So let's go over into real quick. I just want to go over the VIX. Folks, VIX is a gift that keeps on giving. And what I mean by that is that it keeps coming down into the support level, denoted by the blue line. If it overshoots, that's great. It'll come right back up. We need to break this 23. We have some 25 VIX calls into the February and March. And we just need to break out of this 28. If it breaks out of this overhead resistance, we're going straight higher. It also means that the market is crumbling. Let's talk about gold. Okay, gold looks fantastic. Okay, folks. All right, so this is the daily chart on gold. Everyone thinks this is a head and shoulders. I don't think so. I think it's basically a cup within a cup, or you could make this into a major cup, and we're going to break out. We're going to go higher. Okay, and sooner than later. Okay, because our banking systems and the current and the world economy is in trouble. Okay, this is gold on the weekly. My phase 4 parabolic breakout is finally going to happen right here. Nice cup formation. We're breaking out higher. Okay, and this is how I call BS on that rescue attempt on the TNX. Okay, we talked about that. And then silver. Okay, silver is tougher because, the powers that be don't want silver going out. Again, everyone thinks this is a head and shoulders, and then we're going to retest into this neckline and then make a lower high and come down. I beg to differ on that situation. I think we're going to move back here and then make a double bottom of sorts here and then move higher. Okay, look at the RSI gaining strength. Relative strength is increasing. That's the divergence, folks. Here's the silver on the weekly, really quick. All right. And again, everyone thinks this is a head and shoulders formation. Okay, here's the right. Okay, and it's going to probably make here, and then everyone thinks we're coming down. Silver is going to skyrocket higher. These XRP, if I'm right, and that they're going to be used as a cross-border reserve currency. Okay, it's going to be backed by gold and silver, and that asset is going to be tokenized by XDC, folks. That's how it works. That's what I think works. Apple. It's not over yet, but I would wait for a little bounce on Apple. Okay, right off of the support level. It is below the 20 SMA, so keep note of that. It could keep going down. But if you haven't gotten in when we've been talking about it up at these levels, then you want to let it bounce and then come back down. Okay. But Apple is toast, and that's what I think. Carvana is also the gift that keeps on giving. Their business model sucks. People are strapped out, and they have their own subprime lending unit, and they're overpaying on the used cars to outcompete other dealers from getting the cars. And this is the daily. And we see a decline, a divergence in the RSI. We're running right into the 50 SMA. Let's see what develops out of here. But, once the market starts selling off, Carvana, oh boy, puts it cheap right now. Okay. Here's Carvana on the weekly. Let's look at what's going on. Carvana, they're going, yeah, but Brandon, it looks like they regained the 20 SMA and that they're getting over the 5. Well, let it go up higher. Well, we can be patient, but we have longer term put positions on these. It will come down. You just got to build your positions when puts become cheap. without running out of time. SMCI. I said back in September, did SMCI ring the bell? This is an old chart, but that I let it extend out. A lot of people think SMCI is forming some sort of an inverse head and shoulders, and that is far from the truth. It is basically, if you look at it, sustained downtrend. Even if it bounces to these levels, it's going to come down. That's why I keep saying anything above 32 is a gift that keeps on giving. They did not file their 10Q. These guys are toast, folks. And if you want to look at, their IVs are a little expensive, but I think the fraud is going to be made apparent shortly. This is the weekly on SMCI. Again, the weekly looks pretty bad, doesn't it? Okay. I would venture to tell you that this failure into this volatility box range means that it's setting up to go down below the $20 range, down into this 15. Okay. I mean, it can come all the way down to 10. Okay. And when it does happen, maybe delisting notice, it's going to happen fast. Netflix reports earnings this week. Okay. Netflix is bearish. It's a double top formation right here. Here's a double top right here. Declining divergent RSI. Yes, it bounced up a little bit, but look at the predominant volume is the sell volume, and it's running straight down into that overhead resistance. It's a good probability play in my opinion. Not XRP. That's all I think about. Gold, silver, and XRP lately, and now XDC obviously. It's trying to regain this overhead resistance, what used to be support, and trying to gain that upper trend of this trend line that's right here, that blue line. Okay, if it fails here, folks, we're coming right back down into this 95 range. It is a short of a lifetime. It has been overbloated, and there's some shenanigans going on between them, AMD, and SMCI. You heard it here first. Amazon, it's riding this ADMA right here, and right up into this area, so it may continue to chug around, but it's at all-time highs. We have declining RSI, we have MACD that is declining. Okay, so what we got here is a situation where if you can be patient with this is a setting up for topping process that I think is going to give you a fantastic opportunity, because Amazon is a retail company at the end, and they're a mess. Their one medical integration is a mess. Okay, they're trying to get into an area that is super difficult. I come from from medical background, was CEO at a healthcare unit for a long time, and I know how tough it is to manage physicians and contain costs, especially in primary care. And just because you think you could use that as a loss leader to drive traffic to your Amazon pharmacy, it's not going to work. And also with a contraction in the global activity and company activities, this is not going to work. Okay, Amazon is a sell. Okay, and I'm going to leave you with a SPY, because a lot of people are saying, well, that's a bullish engulfing. It very well may be. It will have a very difficult time getting above 600. Anytime it hits this level, it's a short. Go buy some time, or just short it outright with SDS or whatever it is, ETFs. Not financial advice. You do your own research, but I do believe this is the last pump before the hurrah. Between January 17th and February 7th is my turn date, and I think we're going to have a mother of all crashes starting, and that's the way I have it. So I hope that helps. I think that there is some major issues coming down the pipeline, and we just got to be ready for it. So in summary, beware of inauguration in February 7th, especially post-inauguration, right? We're buying gold and silver, futures, physical, okay? Gold and silver slam is alive and well, but you saw when they intervened on the 10-year treasury yield, right? How gold and silver broke out of their 2-month consolidation base. It's coming, folks, okay? I'm expecting a parabolic move off the lows soon, especially if I'm right about the XRP and tokenization of assets and bringing in a competing currency mechanism to help provide liquidity and to fight against the Federal Reserve Bank. Chaos, uncertainty, no one knows what's going on. It's not normal. Whatever is happening is not normal right now. And then Janet Yellen, the ageless wonder, is leaving Treasury with a bombshell. She's burning it all down. She maxed out her credit cards, and now she's going to retirement home. All right. I talked about the Fed rescue of the 10-year bond and the negative consequences that had. Watch the U.S. dollar. If it breaks below 104 right here, it's toast. Okay, sign that things are about to unravel. Gold and silver naked shorts. I don't need to go into that. You've heard me ramble about it. Go buy gold and silver. Watching Netflix and Schwab earnings for this week. That's going to be key critical earnings. Okay, don't worry about JP Morgan Chase. They rigged the crap out of that one. Okay, Trump meme coin is a distraction away from XRP. Go buy XRP. Buy the real deal. Trump is a shit coin. Okay. SMCI missed a 10Q filing after they said they got an auditor to sign off on their balance sheet. So why no 10Q and why didn't you file the 10K? It's going to zero. It's going to get delisted. All right, here is my watch list. Love it, like it. This is a small sample. I can't give away everything for free, but you guys can do whatever you want with it. Okay. All right, so that's it. Okay, follow me at Galaxy.market. Thank you so much for watching. Like us, share us, and subscribe. Okay. And let's get some alpha. If you have any inquiries about working with me, Coach Brandon at protonmail.com. Otherwise, be careful out there. Things are not as it seems, and stay safe.